Let's learn what's gonna happen in the first actually common section to a proposal, thesis and dissertation, and a paper. As you know, this is the first main section which is common to proposal, which is common to paper, thesis and dissertation. This means that this is the first main section which is gonna appear in all cases, in proposals, papers, theses, and dissertations. Okay, this means that proposals also have this section, I mean the introduction section. It is the section in which you should convince the readers to read your text, to read your paper, to read your proposal, to read your thesis or dissertation. On the other hand, it is the section in which you should convince the decision makers, I mean the professors at a university, to read your thesis or dissertation. Okay? The professors at a university to read your proposal and then approve it for the next stages, for actually doing the real research. Okay? For providing funds, you should convince the university, the system, the organization to provide you with some funds to make it real, make it happen. Because it is a proposal and you should convince them that it is actually, it can be actualized, it can be done. The introduction is gonna do that. I mean, it's gonna convince them. The introduction section is the place where you should funnel down from the general, I mean from the available literature, from the existing body of research, from what happened in the past, to the more specific, or better to say to the most specific, because you are actually setting the scene, funneling down from the general or the most general to the most specific, which is your research, which is your research question, which is your topic, your finding. Okay, if it is a proposal, it is your research question. If it is paper or thesis and dissertation, because it is done, it is finished, then you are gonna go to the most specific, which is your topic, findings, results, discussion and conclusion. Okay, you should go down and funnel it from general to specific ones. The introduction section is the place where you set the scene for the rest of your research. It is the place where you actually prepare yourself a place. You are telling the readers that there is a gap, telling the decision makers, telling the, for example, the journal's officials, the editors, editor-in-chief, that there was a gap, and that gap made me move, made me do something. And this is my something. This is actually my actions. So the introduction is a place where you should set the scene for the rest of your research. And finally, the introduction is the section in which you must tell much more than the lines and paragraphs. You have, for example, 2 pages or 3 pages, but you should tell 30 pages in that 2 page or in those 3 pages. I mean, you should use the sentences carefully. There should be a logic behind each and every sentence. Okay, you should be careful with that. You don't waste your space. Although some people think that the introduction section can be copied from some others and pasted here in my paper, it is not the case. You have to be careful. You have to be selective when you want to put a sentence on your paper, on your thesis, on your dissertation, specifically when it is in the introduction section, that sentence, that single sentence must carry must carry the responsibility of some sentences, 5 sentences for example. Okay, it should tell much more than a single line, single paragraph. And this is actually a place where all these happen. The introduction is the place where you have to actually realize all these. And in the following lectures, in the following actually discussions, I will tell you how to do this. How to write a good introduction step by step, and how to convince the readers, decision makers, how to funnel down, how to set the scene for the rest of your story, for the rest of your research, how to tell more than just the line, more than paragraphs. Okay? The introduction is very important. Let's look at the following lectures separately and learn how to write.